Welcome to the Three River Valley series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. We're picking up on the 2nd of January 1931, which is about 3 or 4 months on from the end of the last video. And the reason I did that was that I wanted to play through just to see whether my population would hold up through the winter, simply, well, because there's a very real risk that we may get a population collapse because I left the population process a little bit late into the autumn before we put it in, and generally we've come through fairly well. I'll give you an update on that in a little while. Now the game's on pause for a reason which I'll explain later on, but before we get started, I'd like to say a big thank you for your comments and feedback. As usual, you guys give me a lot to think about. Now I get a suggestion about exporting logs from here to the western border here over at NATO here in order to increase my dollars, because we're down to $79,000, which is a little bit tight now. And I think that is going to be something for the long term. But before that, what we're going to need to do is sort out our local economy. Also got a suggestion that I need to work on the economy, and that is a perfectly valid suggestion. And somebody suggested actually importing fabric and manufacturing clothes. That will certainly be fairly high up on the agenda. And I also got a comment about the fact I should have built a bigger power station up here, which if this was a flat area, I most likely would have done. But the problem I've got is this road down here. We've only got this single road down here, which is going to be an area down here where we've got coal. And so what I'm going to be planning on doing is once we got our small town here operating, I'll probably fix it about a population of about 1,000 people. And then we're going to push down to here, because down here we got coal mines. And what I'll be looking to do is get my really heavy industry down here. So because that would give us an expansion point once we cross the river. Because down over there in this corner here is a little patch of oil. But the trouble is, to get to that, we're probably going to need to put a bridge over here and then another bridge over there. Because I doubt very much if we'll be able to get through here, because we'll probably need a tunnel. So that's the long term. So our major, you could say, expansion city will be down here, and what that will do is reduce the problem of having to get a lot of traffic coming up and down this slope here. Then eventually what will happen, and also there'll be a big power station down here, and the power for this town will then come from that power station. So this power station is literally just to supply the startup, and then eventually it will all be taken down. Because one of the big problems with the fact that I don't have much space up, if I built a big power station here, would be the risk of pollution, because I want to expand the town out this way to this side of the road. So that's that is the overall strategy. Plus, it's also worth mentioning that in this part we'll be planning a little bit more industry in here to reduce our overall costs. Now, I did get a comment from Snafu saying about I should really start renaming the buildings. But the first thing I want to do is actually, if we come into here and go to naming, is I want to rename the town actually, because I can't pronounce that. So what we're going to do is call this Grigor, I think. We'll call it Grigor and get rid of the... So we'll just call this Grigor. No, actually, we'll call it something. Call it Highview. And then if we let the game run slowly, what should happen is the game will eventually rename everything here. Now I'm not going to waste your time going through and naming all the key buildings, but there's a couple of things that I do want to name, which I think is quite important. Is we're going to call this Highview log store. I know it's got boards, but I don't think we get log board store in. Oh, yes, we can. I think what they've done with the new update is they've increased the number of letters you can use in a name. And then we're going to rename this. I'm going to call this Highview log pickup. Although we're not really using it that much at the moment. Can you rename this? I'm going to rename this straight away. I'm going to call this Highview water and sewage. I'll explain why I'm naming it this in a little while. This is Grigor, alcohol and crops. I think that's okay. We need to rename this Highview Food Store. So we've now got that there. And we also need to rename this. We'll call this Highview Workers Bus. And what I'm going to do is actually turn this on, because this is going to be very much the focus of what we want to do. I think that's all I want to rename just at the moment. We will get round to renaming other things. I think I'm going to be okay with that. Oh, actually, we will rename this Highview Sewage Pickup. We will be talking a little bit more about that as well. Now, what I'm going to do is just let the game run slowly so it doesn't run away with us. And I just want to give you a bit of an update of where we are with respect to the happiness. Happiness is pretty low at the moment, and that's actually starting to knock into my productivity. We've got productivity of about 60%, which is giving a few problems with relation to the shopping mall here. And the other thing we're having problems with is our education and kindergarten. So what I want to do is come in here. We've only got 2 or 3. We've got 5 over here. What I want to do is relocate these to here. And then we're going to assign you, 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 and you. To the kindergarten. How many workers we got in here? 47. So we got potential there, 10. I think we're going to need some extra workers. Maybe we'll take the kindergarten off. I was hoping to get that in there, but I think 33% each way should be okay. I think what we're going to do is bring in some more educated people into here, because it's going to be quite important to get educated people in here, because you can see we're not actually doing anything. So how many educated people? We've got 20 in here now. It's going to take them a little while to get sorted out. Now, the next thing I want to do is related to cutting our costs, and I suppose I better need to talk about that next. At the moment, we're still losing money, and we've really got to start turning around, because I don't want this to get very low, and then we're going to start panicking. So if I can give you a breakdown first of our imports, that's probably not good. Now, the way I look at imports, there's 2 kinds. There's what I'd call essentials, which is food, clothes, electronics, water, and I won't call alcohol, but these are our essential fuel as well. You can see our fuel bill is quite high. These are the ones that we need to run the economy. The rest are construction costs, which if push comes to shove, we can suspend all construction and just make back some money. And that, I know that will slow down the overall progress, but I think that's something that we can deal with, especially with steel, which is always been the big bugbear. Now, if I show you exports, at the moment, in last month, we exported a fair amount. And of course, we got wastewater here, which I'd like to get rid of. But so if I actually show you, we made 6,000 last month in exports. We imported 10,000, but if we hadn't built so much, we would have been okay. And then, of course, what pushed this up to 15,000 is I bought another vehicle. And of course, the big one here is foreign manpower. And of course, immigrants here as well, which we just spent some more money on immigrants as well. First priority is going to be getting rid of the foreign workforce in here, and also we're using, well, effectively all foreign workforce. So what what I want to do first is, this is the one going to the powerhouse. I want to send you to the depot. And then what we're going to be doing is come to this block. This block is empty. And we're going to bring in just ordinary immigrants from the Soviet Union. And what I want is, how many got here? I think this power plant at maximum production needs 15, but at the moment it's only set to 10. So what I'm looking to do is get about, let's make sure we get the right one, 50 people in here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 50. And then what we're going to do is assign you to there. And we're just going to let the game run. And we're going to let this guy get into here. We're going to wipe out his route. And then your job is going to be to pick up from here. I think we will use the educated. And we're going to come in there. Actually, have we got any educated people in here? How many educated people have we got in here? 4. Okay, you're going to move to there. Okay, we got lots of people coming in there. Great. Now, if I remember correctly, I've got 3 buses on this route. Right, you've now emptied out. I'm going to send you back to there. Need to put the line spacing on. We get you there. Now we've got this route here, and we've got these guys who are bringing the workforce in. We've got a bus platform here. I don't want the bus pickup point here. What I'd like to do is bring a construction office down here into this area. Again, we're gonna have to try and fit it in somewhere. I don't know if I've got a construction office. Is that a free construction office? Yeah. I'm gonna put this just on this. Can't build. I don't want the. These are just very much temporary buildings. I don't want to waste resources. But no, cancel. How many workers we got here? We're getting a few workers in here. Are we getting workers? Right, we're getting a few more workers coming in here. So what I'm going to do is just let this settle down before we disturb something else. Not sure why that's coming around that way. It's probably just been to the right. So you've got 12 workers there. You've got 9 workers there. This route you're going to pick up from there. You're only ever going to pick up workers. While that's just settling down, I just want to talk about something else that's cropped up. Also want to show you something. Seems in winter the lakes that aren't lakes disappear. So if you see here that the snow overlays the texture that makes this into a lake. So effectively the lake freezes over during the winter. Now during the winter I've actually built this thing here. And the reason, oops, we need to get this built, so we're just going to put that onto there. I don't know how many jobs have we got. We got 1 job there, 1 job there, and we got a water plant there ready to go. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll just talk about the strategy for crops, because over here we've got 2 silos, and at the moment I've got about 650 tons, which is 1,300 tons of crops in here. Now I did a quick calculation, and this isn't going to last all the way through to July, which is what, nearly over 6.5 months away. So what the strategy is going to be is we're going to keep just churning out the alcohol and the food, although we're going to have to make sure, well, I'm a bit worried about the fact, oh, we got food in there. So we're going to keep churning out the food, but as the crops run out, what we're going to do is we're going to import crops to the food factory and maybe not make alcohol, or if things go well, we'll actually do both. We're getting workers into there. This is settling down. This is the bus one, so just going to send you to there. And we've now got buses here. So I want you to go there. And there. And we're just going to remove the auto detect because I want to control what you're working on. So we'll just get rid of you. And then thank you, game. You just slow the game down a bit. I think the game's running a little bit too fast now. Right. We need to assign you to there. And I'm going to remove you. Rename you High Valley Buses. Oops. And then just to kind of confirm, just reassign these to the local crews, and then we'll move you guys down to here. Now this may slow up the construction process, but it will save us a lot of money because once this is working and our population grows, we'll no longer have to rely on foreign manpower. And you can see it's already starting to, you know, I mean, this is a major expense. So we do need to that a lot of immigrants, 37,000. Wow. We've now got that area there. Now I suppose I better explain what this technical office is for. Now this technical office is going to be responsible for distributing water, sewage and snowplows, because we're going to need to open up this road here. Now the reason it's so big is that you can see the black blob here. What happened is if I go to technical offices here, I actually built this one here, small log tech, but it doesn't support water and sewage. So this is something you need to be aware of if you're using modded technical offices. Not all the technical offices, the old ones, don't have sewage and water. So what I actually did in the end is I kind of looked at the ones that came with the military construction camp, and originally I was going to put 4 in. I was going to put 2 in, and then I thought no, because we're going to need to do water, sewage and the snowplows. I thought if I put that there, then that means that these groups here can move down to here as well, and so we can kind of concentrate everybody in one place. That's looking good. So right, so we can now remove you and just tidy you up a little bit. And the idea is that we'll have the sewage. We've got our sewage pickup point here, and what I've built during the winter is this thing here, and it's got capacity for 900 cubic meters of sewage before it becomes a problem. So we got a little while to build that, so we don't need to prioritize that. We can just dump the sewage in here, and it just acts as a tank, but we'll have to keep an eye on it. I think we're going to bump the priority on that, I think. Now, so what we're going to have to do is be very careful now with respect to what jobs we're actually doing. We don't overload the construction office so it doesn't steal all the workforce from here. I'll have a quick look. We've got doctors in there, that's good. Probably No, I think I'm going to leave that. We've got no teachers. Kids in there. Kind of inclined to push that down a bit. Let the game run a little bit faster. Right, we've got teachers in here. We really need to get this education going. Everyone's a bit happier. Getting the odd food. Now, I do have a problem with this store in the sense that because these people are getting lower productivity, they're not supplying as much to everyone as they need to do. And that means we're also not producing... Well, we are producing food and alcohol. What I would like to do is get another one of these built so that we can produce the meat, which is currently down here. So have we actually exported any meat yet? Let's just have a look. Yep. So we're actually starting to just turn our economy round. What we got here, these are the oil dumpers. These are water trucks. Now, I do have up here another gondola, but we actually need... We've got 4 in there, so we've got a spare bus at the moment. Now, this Mack truck, just want to check something. Because I did have a bit of a production problem here. I took this truck out, but I think what we're going to do is put it back into the... I think this is the one. That's water, this is sewage. I'm not going to name these because they're going to disappear eventually. I'll put you into there. So we're ready for that. These guys are not that busy, and so one thing I would like to do is get a... Oh, there's a... I need to... What's in there? Oops. A little bit just there. If they're going to be... One there. So what we're going to do is just get the road crew on that, building that down into there at the moment. Now we've got this area here, which is our long-term storage, but it's not something that I'm too worried about just at the moment. The same as up here. We're going to wait. I want to get this up here built, and then what I'm thinking is that this is going to cost a lot of money to build. So what we might go is small scale to start with, and put a rock crusher down here just to offset some of the gravel costs. And I think that is about it. Let me just... We're getting workers into there, and the coal-fired power plant is actually running. That's good. We've now built this, which is exactly what I was looking for. And of course all my trucks are out and about now. Okay, we've got $79,000. I think what I'm going to do is we're going to come over here and buy another sewage truck. It's the cheapest, and this is... Okay, we're going to buy that one, get you come into there, and then what we're going to do is set this up for sewage, and we're going to put you onto there. Now the idea is going to be is that the sewage trucks that are running around here, that's water, the gas station. Right, we're going to have to try and intercept some sewage trucks and send them to here. But first things first, what we're going to need to do is Okay, you go to the gas station and do your thing. All right, you're back to there. It's going to let him get back to the gas station or the depot. Actually, we could hook him here, can't we? Don't need him to wait. What we're going to do is put you there, wait until loaded, then you're going to go down to here and unload. Now, the reason I'm doing this in 2 stages, well, there's 2 reasons really. The first one is that if I try to allocate this, it won't let me, and I can't do it to this one because it's not connected by a road. And the other one is that quite often these sewage trucks pick up small amounts, and I don't want them running all the way down to here with a small amount. So the idea is going to be is that we'll have a truck here that will take a full load of 5 tons of wastewater, and then what will happen is that when he fills up, here go to the bottom, and then the other trucks will just run around here doing their own thing and coming to here and filling our truck up. And eventually when we get a bigger truck, because at the moment the biggest capacity we've got is 5 tons, but if we get a bigger truck, what I'll do then is I'll put a bigger truck here so there's even less journeys. Right, we've got a wastewater guy. You move to there. Now the water trucks I'm not going to move here straight away because they have to go all the way up here to get water, so that's going to be a bit more of a long-term project. We're going to need to build in this area here first and get that done, but we should get this built. I can't remember what I actually did for the groundwater filtration plant. I think that actually needs gravel or coal, so we're looking reasonably okay. I just want to have another quick check. So we got 75% there, 64%, 64%, 75%, 95% food, 88% health. Haven't got the loyalty yet. We've got a bit of an alcohol problem here, but that's because we got new residents. Culture and the sport, religion. Got some electronics in here as well, but he's got no electronics at the moment. Have we got electronics in here? Yes, we have. Life expectancy is 75. Can't visit the doctor. We got fix the health problems. Well, if I'd clicked this back about the end of December, there would have been health problems in all this area. Unvisited building. No patrol crime this year. Minor crimes. We've got small minor crimes. And we've got that there. So what we're going to need to do is carry on building these up with a view to possibly getting police in force, but I don't want to activate the police force until it's really necessary. What? Oh, this is the courthouse, so we're going to build that as well. Actually, let's set this up. Gravel roads. So we're just going to set this up because as soon as the winter's gone and the snows are gone and the snow plows return to here, we'll move them over to here. I mean, I know this looks a little bit out of place because it's got tents in here, but I think we can get by that because, especially with the stacks in the top, I mean, I've seen pictures of tents like similar to this in the First World War, so I think from a tented community this looks okay. And we are in 1931 now, so life was a bit grim. I think if you pretended these weren't tents but these were wooden buildings, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen pictures of some of the British prisoner of war camps that were built inside the UK during the First World War. They look like this, rows of tents, but of course we got 2 tents and a parking slot. I presume this is the commander's tent over here. Actually, I quite like these layouts actually. He's in position now. That's good. All I've got to do now is find the other waste trucks. Okay, I think we're just going to have to find them manually. Send them there. Okay. So you're now gone, so we can remove you. Bring you back. That's now done. Just check the power station is running nicely. getting a reasonable supply of workers into here. We got food. Apologies my paranoia, but so how much unemployment we got? It says we got 12% unemployment, which is small child. So we got no one who's actually not looking for a job. We just got an issue with the kindergarten. My instinct is to actually put in another kindergarten, because if we're going to grow the population, we're going to need it. We could put one down in this corner here. What are we going to put in the way of a kindergarten? Let's just see. We got 19. What is this one? This one is a old nursery block. What was the old nursery block? This has got a capacity of 210, but we're not getting anywhere near that at the moment. My instinct is just to put another one down here, which is quite cheap, just to kind of fill the gap in. So we could put one just on this corner here, because it could be something to do with walking distance, and we're going to need one eventually anyway. So I think if we put in a kindergarten there, then we'll just hook up a footpath there and accept. We'll get our digger crew on that, so we don't need workers. On snow, go away, so I can start planning. As you may have guessed, I might be stalling a little bit. The reason is I want to plan something here, but I don't really want to do it in the snow because it's a bit difficult to see. In fact, how many jobs have we got now? We've got water here. Very, very tempted. Could we run... If I was going to build this straight away, can workers get to this? Yes, they can. Right, we've built a pump. Have I built the underground pipelines? I haven't. Okay. This is going to take 82 tons of steel. Painful, painful, painful. Right, how many jobs have we got? We're building that. I'm going to go for it, guys. I think the quicker we get this done, the better. And then I can not worry about it. Right, the snow is disappearing. How much we've got haven't dumped any sewage in there just yet, so see, the amount we're picking up at the moment is really small. So like at the moment we got 3.3 tons here. He's off now. Now there is a bit of an anomaly with this one, is that if you watch this, see, he's coming in with 0.4 tons of sewage, but it just disappears. Now I don't know whether this has got a tank or what. If any of you know, feel free to chuck it in the comments, because you know these buildings like up here have got this capacity here. It says 50%, but you don't know how much storage that actually is, which is a little bit of an incongruity. How many? Got 49 tons of boards here. I'm a bit tempted just to put another open hole here, because at the moment we've got two small open holes kind of running backwards and forwards all the time. Kind of if I could get a bigger one, but that means I'd have to spend some, because I don't think, let me just see. I mean, this is a hard choice, to be honest. Let's have a look at open hole. Open hole. We got this heavy steam hauler, but at 18 kilometers an hour is bad news. This one's 30. This one's 42. I mean, they're cheap, but they're still burning fuel. This is what you need to remember, that they're coming here, that they're small, but they're cheap. But if they're only carrying 1.5 tons of boards, that means, what did that drop? Did someone just pick up Where you come from? Okay. Right, we're going to keep an eye on you because I don't want you doing what you're doing. You're... Where are you going? Okay, we're just going to follow you for the moment. Actually, no, we'll just put you up there. I don't need to follow you. Back to what I was saying. See, so if I come over here and we buy, say we buy an open hole over here, which has got a bigger capacity. So say we got total capacity here. We got one that's 40 trucks that can carry 40 tons of boards, but we don't really need 40 tons of boards. But what we could do is we got one here that's 7.5 tons. My instinct is to buy one of these. This is another reason. Actually, what we could do is probably set up a route. You can go to there. Actually, I'm just going to take the advice someone said. What is the setup here? Now we're going to need a separate distribution office up here for... We're going to send logs to the border. Oh, where did that truck go? It was groundwater, wasn't it? Correlated vehicles. That's the gondola. That's not the one we want. Actually, it's in concrete, isn't it? It'd be easier to find it this way. That's open hole. This is concrete. Yeah, you got away from me. I didn't know you were there. Oops. Nope. Actually, we can get you to... Where are you? Right, we're just going to follow him and... So he drops off those workers because we paid for them. We might as well use them. Okay. He's going to drop off 22 workers there. And actually, what do I get if I sell you? I think we're just going to sell that guy. I think we've got enough buses at the moment. That gives us a little bit of cash back. So he's got another 3 tons. So let me just see what we got in here. So we put 5 tons in there just at the moment. So we're okay from that point of view. Okay. And I've forgotten what I was doing. So let me just get back and check the... Right, we've just rolled over to the 3rd of March. Right, we spent 1,000 on... And we haven't spent anything on foreign power. So we're now in profit. And if we're very careful now, we should be able to start turning a profit. In fact, these guys are turning out how much? I mean, you're turning out a lot of things. I just want to plant some more trees up here actually while we're here. I think somebody actually pointed out a little while ago that it's about time this game had an arborist who could plant and replace trees. So we're just going to put the trees in there. I think because this is a temporary setup, if we get... Oh wow, I don't want that. We could get that. We just sneak you in there like that. Oh, look at that. Haha. And again, we're just going to... Because this guy will pay for himself. Open hole. Total capacity. Now, this guy could haul 15 tons of logs down to the border. And it's a long way. But my instinct is still to go a little bit cheapskate. So come there. Because the last thing I want is all the logs to get stolen, and that will cripple my economy. So you're going to go to there. How many tons of logs have we got? 280. So if I set you there, and I want this at over 50%, so that, no, 60%. And then your job is going to be to just go to there. We can let that run. And at long last, I can now turn my attention to this area here. Now, obviously what I want to do is manufacture coal, because I've got two thought processes related to coal. One, if we can manufacture some coal, we're using charcoal kilns, we can cut down our import cost with respect to coal. Not that I think it's that much. Wow, I think the amount of coal we're using is very small, isn't it? We're only building... Okay. So that's the first thing. But also what I want to do is set up a production area here, so that what we can do is possibly produce bitumen. Oh, what have we got here? What's this? It looks like some kind of hauler. Let's have a look. Could be a sewing. No, it's not. 1931. Is that it? Oh no, it's here. 10 kilometers an hour. Well, we're not going to do that. Anyway, one of the problems here is that, you see, if you see this truck coming in here, he may not bring workers in here and then not use them all up. So what we're going to do is we're going to create some coal to cut down our coal costs. Also, that coal can then be used for other purposes. The other thing I would like to do is also produce bitumen. Kind of thinking... Now the question is, do I put an intervention store in, or do I just feed it? This has got storage for 40 tons and it's dropping down. How much do we produce with a... what we call it? Charcoal kiln. Charcoal kiln only produces 5 tons of coal, and we could hook it directly to there like that. And of course, because the factory can draw and the store is passive, or no, this is a factory against factory, isn't it? It's not going to work, is it? I mean, what's the output on this? 40 tons of coal. I think what we are going to do is we're just going to put an aggregate store in between. It's difficult. This is not permanent. I think what we are going to do is we're just going to go here, but I'm going to leave enough space that if you guys start telling me off about I should put a store in between, we'll go right. Just going to put you about here. Actually, no, we're going to put you... Yeah, we're going to keep my options open because I want this to be neat. So we're going to put that... Actually, what we could do is we could put that there. Like that. I don't need to build a conveyor immediately, do I? Because I could use a small truck to move the coal from here to here. Based on loading, and then maybe later on, once I've got the economy sorted, we could then actually I can plan it in. If we put a conveyor, where's the conveyor belts? That won't work, but what we could do is put in something like that. We'll put that in there, but that is the secondary backup. That makes sense. So we've got this here. Now, the next, because what I want to do is push off in that direction. Now, this is going to need logs. So the next thing we're going to need is something that I definitely do need, which is a open store. Sorry, open hole. What am I on about? what I'd like is something, say, out about here, which will hold the logs. Like, actually, we'll tilt it that way a little bit, like that. So that actually we'll do it that way round, so the road's on this side, so we can put you in, get you nice and short. Then what we can do next is factory. Let's just let the game run slowly. What I'm looking for is, we've got an asphalt mixer here, but what I'm looking for is a bitumen processing plant. Let me just see if I can find that, and I'll be right back. So here we are. Here's the wood pitch extractor, and what we're going to do is we're going to put you in about here. Like that. And then we're going to need a logging camp. What I want to do is find out whether I can get a footpath up through there. Yes, I can. So just come there. And then what we're going to do is put another wood cutting post. That's the vanilla one. And we're going to put you round like that. Actually, no, I get a road through there. Just see. No. Okay, so we can get a road through there. If I can put you about there, maybe out a little bit like that, we can bring this road around the back of the coal-fired power station. Put you there. I can update you now. And we can put a footpath through there that will connect to there. And then what we can do is put a bus stop. I'm going to put a bus stop about here. And maybe a little bit further north so it lines up with that. Like that. And then make sure that can come into there. So, right, I'm just going to accept that. And hopefully my gravel guys will pick up that. Get these guys working on that. Yeah, apologies that I got a bit kind of wrapped up in myself a bit there, but I wasn't too sure how I wanted to lay this out. So the idea is that we will have the coal here. In fact, let me just, can I get that road there? Yeah, we can get that in there. I just had a sudden thought that I could avoid the bus stop connection here. So the idea is going to be is we're going to make some coal which will offset some of our costs to here. We're going to make some wood pitch extraction which will allow us to make a little bit of fuel which we can then offset our fuel import costs, because I think fuel is more expensive than let me just see, let's have a look at our price guide. Bitumen is 301. Fuel is cheaper. Oh, okay, change of plans. Just get rid of you. We can make this change because we haven't actually committed to building that. I think bitumen might be a better production we put the wood pitch extraction in here. This takes 30 tons of if we put that in about there, maybe we'll just push you out a little bit. We can afford to make longer factory connections now. Make a little bit of space, actually. We'll put that there. Yeah, I think the bitumen will be more profitable in the long run. So just put that in there and we'll get the guys working on that. How are we doing over here? We're kind of spending a lot of money. How's the sewage piling up? Not too much, not too badly. And is this guy right? His job is to pick up logs and send them to there. So what we'll do is just keep exporting those logs out. Have we actually made any money from that yet? Exports. No. Right, looks like he's picking up his first load of 7.5 tons of logs. Now the big question is going to be fuel costs, but in some ways I'm prepared to offset the costs of the fuel if that actually just improves my dollars so that we can get that costing up. Let's put some more trees in. Scatter the trees around here a little bit. Get this. They're close. The trees are close to the wood cutting shed. They'll do that. Okay, how are we doing here? So happiness is 51%. It's not more what's gone wrong now. I think we're gonna build that because we've still got this problem with the kindergarten. And I think it's down to productivity. Let's have a look at the school. Was educating quite well. We've got good health cover, and we've got that there. So we're okay in a way. And we'll just get this area built in. I think this would be quite important to get this area built in. Get more and more workers out here. And if we're producing, we've got some more logs here which we could export. Should we make an excess? We can get some coal production going, which will offset some of the costs. I'm not exactly sure. Well, that says that's been filled up, so we're not importing. Oh, concrete. So where is the coal coming from? It's the distribution office. Okay. Do I remove you? %. It's almost like he had a pile of coal in here, which he's still supplying to the power station, but then the power station hasn't been operating that long. Just curious, last year we imported 58 tons of coal. How about this year? So we haven't actually imported any coal, so there's a good chance we could have offset that cost as well, plus make some bitumen. And of course, we make bitumen, we can then start making our asphalt. What is the price of asphalt? Asphalt's not that expensive. Probably be better off exporting the bitumen for profit, and then importing the asphalt back. Though, how much asphalt that because we're not using that much at the moment, but we will eventually. How many jobs have we got here? Got 1, 2. We've got some jobs up here. I'm very tempted to get one of these built. What's this? 8 per ton. I think what we can do is just get one of these built up here. and then we could look at maybe importing some gravel. But I'm looking for a very high level of self-sufficiency, if possible. Right, we've got one pipe built. We got this is built. It's now pumping water, and this is on its last process. Okay. We just got a new vehicle. Happiness is too low. Where are you? 51%. I really wish if there was some way with the messages that you could actually set a threshold on things like happiness, because 51% is okay for the current situation. Population, so we're not getting any escapees. The population is growing. We're getting more births than deaths. Our education is improving. We've got still, looks like we've still got too many people that are uneducated, which is a bit of a problem. But at the moment, I don't really want to bring anyone else in just at the moment. Food is good. Alcohol is good. I'm kind of thinking another meat production area, but where could we put it? Well, it's meant to be a hunting lodge, so we shouldn't be putting it in the middle of town. Though we have got trees over here, so I suppose they could go hunting. We've got electricity problem. That means that we've probably got no workers. Okay. Louise. Yeah, we're pushing a little bit too hard now with respect to our workforce. Did I pick up that guy? Did I actually get the concrete guy? Yeah, I did. He's sat there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of cool it with respect to the building for the moment. And we'll just build this in. Got 19 tons of sewage. Okay, let's have a look at the economy. Last month, so we're only losing 2,000 a month at the moment, and that is not too bad. But we need to increase this wastewater. We're still exporting. Can't be exporting wastewater. Okay, let's have a look at the economy. We made $105 from exporting out that way. Okay. Actually, there's something I've forgotten. Is, oh no, we don't need it yet because these guys are still going. We're actually doing quite well with respect to crops off for the fact that we're on the 25th of March, which is good, and we're sowing out our fields now. And these are already done, they're growing. That's looking good. So we're looking good from that point of view. I think I want to get that done. So we got this being built. Right, I want to get this road in. And I want you connecting up to there. Going to potentially make this junction pretty busy, but I think it'll be okay. I'd rather have it there than over here. And then hopefully this road, this road will come down to there. We'll just build in this area here. An excavator there. This has been picked up. I think we will get that built. How many jobs have we got? We got 1, 2, 3. I think I'd like to get this finished sometime this year. Anyway, I've just realised I've lost complete track of time, so this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, Enjoy your gaming.